Welcome back to Thrifty Day on YouTube. Today I'm going to walk you through making a brand new page for my Magic Memory book, and let's get started. So I think the first thing I'm going to show you is how I get the page ready. Like, this drives me crazy, that keeps getting in my way. So first thing I'm going to do is hold it down so that my space that I'm going to work on is totally open and ready for me. So I chose this particular page because it's a piece from the Buena Vista Bugle when they used to have those at California Adventure. They used to give them out right there on Buena Vista Street. And I loved this one because it has the Walt statue that I absolutely love because it's so vintage. And I happen to have a picture of my kiddo in front of the same statue. So I knew this picture needed to go next to this page. So with that in mind, I wanted to keep it very California Adventure themed. So I found one of my old guide maps. This one's from Halloween, from California Adventure, and that will be the base of my page. So I'm going to put a strip right down the middle. You can actually see the Walt statue right there on Buena Vista Street. And it doesn't need to be perfect because I'm actually going to trim everything, and then I'm going to line the page in this kind of vintage retro washi tape. So don't worry about it being perfect at all. Then I want to also put newspaper in here. So I had a scrap from the same paper because I throw nothing away. When I made the pages, these strips came off, and I found one that actually said DCA on it. So I'm gonna layer that right over the guide map, and so that it kind of adds dimension and texture. So that's there. I don't glue or tape anything down until I have a good idea of what I want to do. So anyway, it doesn't need to be perfect. But then I'll definitely want to put my picture of Abby there. And I can still see the Walt statue. That means a lot to me. And so I think something that would be really fun to add to this would be a little tag. I love making these. Let me show you these little tags that you can stick in your journal or planner or junk journal or magic memory book, because I feel like they add dimension and a whole level of just cuteness. So now obviously this one is it would be cute, but it's not exactly the vibe I'm going for this page. So I'm gonna make a new one. So I start with a little paper clip. You want to make sure that the prong is going the right way, because if you glue everything on, it's going this way, it's not going to go on your page right. So make sure the little prong is going that way, because I'm going to want to put that little tag right here. So I used the same guide map that I made this page from, and I cut a little piece out of it that will fit into my paper clip to make a little tag. Now these guide maps, if you know, are a little bit flimsy, so this isn't going to be super easy, but I'm sure together we can make it happen. Perfect. So see, there you go. I'll glue it down in a second, but at first I want to add more embellishments to it. So I think what I'll do is, using the same guide map, I think I'll cut the Paradise Pier logo and maybe the little Ferris wheel out. So see, I use one of these little punches, and I do it upside down so that I can actually see what I'm punching out. So it's perfect. So that's really cute. We'll put Paradise Pier on there, and then we need to trim it a little bit more to get that Ferris wheel. My little trick, go upside down so you can see exactly what you're doing. There we go. So you can set these aside. This probably can get thrown away, but this you could use for future projects. World of Color. You see a little bit of, when you walk in there, the hotel, Grizzly Peak. So don't throw this away. Save this for next time. So let's see. So this will kind of be the beginning of our little tag. I feel like we should add something in there to make it a little more interesting. Maybe a ticket or washi tape. Let me see. I don't know if I want to add, let's see, I have these color tickets. We could either do a teal one and put that under there. I feel like it cuts too much of it off. Maybe we won't use a ticket. maybe we'll use the same washi tape or even a different washi tape. I think that would be super cute. But you know what? We'll save that. Now that we know what we're doing, we'll save that till after. So let me show you how you can finish this tag. You cut your piece off to fit your paper clip, so you can really use any size paper clip. You don't need to be specific. And then I use Craft Bond Precision Tip Glue for smaller little jobs like this. And you just open it up, put a little glue in there, make sure to get the sides, and then you just make sure that it's even Steven. Easy as that. Now, if you want to make it look like a little flag, the way I did, let me show you. You just go right to the middle, you cut a little bit, and then you go to the corner, and you cut a little bit more, the other corner, cut a little bit more, and then you have a perfectly even spaced little tail, although I didn't go all the way through, but it's okay, can't really tell. So there, you have a perfect little flag to put there. And then we can even add these adorable little embellishments. How cute is that? And that'll go right there. So I think I will add a little bit of washi tape just to add dimension. I'm all about layering. I feel like when you add a whole bunch of stuff and layers, it makes it so interesting. So look, it doesn't need to be perfect, but more perfect than that, because that was way not straight. But okay, so there. And see, obviously we have little tails. I go to the back and I trim those guys right off. Trim it off. Okay, so now what we'll do is we'll just put these on there, and it's super cute. I mean, you can't even really see the washi tape, I guess, but how adorable is that? I guess I should have added more. But I'm not going to even bother with it now because I think it's cute. I'm just going to use double stick tape to put these on there. Double stick tape is always my go-to because you don't have to wait for it to dry. It's just so easy. It's super permanent. So double stick tape. Yeah, so you just kind of put those on in a haphazard sort of way. We could even add more stuff to that later if we decide. But I don't love the way that looks. Maybe more, maybe make it a little more cockeyed. I don't like things to look perfect. I feel like when things look perfect, it just doesn't look real. So anyway, there we go. Okay, so we're gonna do this. We're gonna have a little tag there. Now, obviously this is totally empty and needs something, am I right? So I printed this just on my computer, super easy, in different fonts, because I'm going to cut this out and we can glue it on here to make this page interesting. So again, this does not have to be perfect. Making everything perfect makes it very unfun, in my opinion. So I'm going to, for the sake of not getting stuff everywhere, cut over here a little bit off camera, because otherwise we're going to get stuff everywhere. But I'm using my little scissors that have the little crimp in them. They're so cute because it will, again, add texture to your page. It's not just a straight edge cut. You have these adorable little rickrack scissors. So there we go. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. I'm happy to answer them. I'm not great at doing these tutorials yet because I usually just whiz through things and I don't even really think about it when I do it. So if I'm going too fast or if you have questions, just leave them below and I will definitely answer you. Or you can even head over to Instagram and ask. Always open in our DMs. So now that I've created a whole bunch of a mess. So there we go, see? A suitcase and a dream. So we'll just kind of put those on haphazard and it'll make it super interesting and super fun. Okay, so now that we have a general idea of what we want our page to look like, it's time to glue everything down. So I, for these first steps, always use double stick tape. I think glue makes pages feel a little bit heavy and I don't like the way it looks. So I use tape. I put a good amount on there because you don't want anything coming off. Paying close attention to, if that happens, don't try to get it off, just fold it over. No one will ever know it's there. I put it on just like that. Make sure you get some in the middle. And then you can just place it where you want it. Keep it a little bit from the edge because, let me get that a little bit lower. Remember, we're going to trim this whole page in washi tape. So, okay. So that's down. Like I said, do not worry that it's overlapping. I'm going to show you an easy way to trim that off. So I want the DCA to show. So I'm going to put a little bit on here right now. Newsprint doesn't need a lot of tape because it's so thin that it's going to stick no matter what. So, and I want this right about there. Okay. So now that this is all taped down, we need to trim it all up. I'm going to move my letters over for a second. I open the page. Oh, look, there's Hannah. I open the page and I just trim carefully right along with the edge of my page. There. And you end up with this like generally perfect cut. I was a little bit off that time, but because I'm trying to do it on camera. But that's okay. Like I said, perfection is overrated. I don't think anyone's trying to make these things perfect. We're trying to make them look fun. So if you feel like you didn't get it just right, just go through and trim, trim, trim. Trim, trim, trim. There. So that's how I do that. That's how I make it look like a clean edge. I did the exact same thing over here with Peter Pan when I did Hannah's page. Okay. So all that is trimmed. You officially have the base of your page. So now you can add exactly where you want things. There's our picture right there. I'm going to go ahead and tape that down because I know that's where I want it. So a couple things there. I want to make sure you can see that Walt statue though, because oh, it's so cute. It's tiny, but it's still cute. I always use photo corners. It's a whole nother way to add texture. So there go the photo corners, and it's adorable. You know what, I may actually, I just realized I may need to lower this picture a tiny bit, so everything's pretty forgivable. You just got to go slow. If you mess up, don't worry. I just want it a little bit lower, I think. That would be good. So let's put this a tiny bit lower. Still see the sign, Buena Vista Street, and the statue is still somewhat visible, but I had to make sure that everything fits. So there we go. See, everyone messes up a little bit. And let's add another photo corner here. These photo corners are great because they're self-stick. You just gotta put them right on there and they stick to your page. There we go. Looks like I pulled up the page a little bit here, so we're gonna fix that. Put a little bit of glue, there we go. Tape, I mean, in there. Okay, so your picture is there, your background is there. The next thing we need to do is our washi tape, and this is super duper easy. You're going to just make it the whole length of the page, make sure it lines right up, and push it right on down in there, and then cut it off. And then you just follow your book page and cut it off. And we're going to do that again. There we go. Okay, one side done. So now we're going to do that all over again up here. Thank goodness we trimmed it because, yeah, see, it's like, woo, it's like close, just cutting it. Okay, so now you can just rip that off. And you just trim it. Make sure it's all the way in there. And, you know what, I want to make sure that I am doing that evenly. See, nice little gauge. I put everything on the back of my hand. I don't know why I do that. I just always have. Okay, we're going to go down this side now. The beauty of washi tape is it's so forgiving. If you mess up, you can just lift it right off. So, look at that. That page is coming up a little bit, so we're gonna add more tape. There we go. Okay, so now we gotta trim that one. I didn't even realize I'd done the same thing on this page. It's kind of cute. I like the way that looks, actually. I think it looks cute that they both have these, so I forgot to trim this one. So this is kind of hard to do on camera. I apologize. Okay, last one. Am I on the frame here? Just gonna go down this side. Make sure I'm not, okay, yeah, see it's a little bit high there. I warn you, at any given moment, a family's gonna come walking in because they probably don't know that I am currently filming. But that's just how it is around here. Okay, so I think I got this all trimmed correctly. It looks a little bit long on this side, so I'm gonna trim it real quick. But see how a little bit of washi tape makes it look so interesting. I love the way it looks. It adds a little bit of vintage flair. You can still see everything, but it adds a whole nother layer. I love that. So now we can add our little tag right in here. Oh, that's so cute. Now, if you don't like the way that looks, like if it's you want it to look more flat, you can always put some tape under there, but you don't have to. So now we need to figure out how we're going to put our letters. Oh, those are hard to pick up. We're going to do didn't want to leave me, suitcase, and oh man, we're covering up Buena Vista Street a little bit. How about we move those around? Dream. There we go. See? Everything's still intact. So a suitcase and a dream. Yeah, I like that. So now we just need to add these in. You can go back to using the glue for this, or you could use glue for everything. I just prefer not to, but you don't need a lot of glue. That's for sure. So there we go. So much stuff on my hands right now. When I used to make bows, I used to have glitter everywhere all the time, and now I just feel like I have paper scraps everywhere all the time. So a suitcase. And you don't want these to look perfect. You want them to look like you threw them and they just happen to fall in the right spot. I just feel like perfection and straight lines isn't always fun. I think it's so much more interesting when things look different. There we go, see? You could still see Buena Vista Street, you could still see the statue. Okay, so those will dry, and then eventually you'll see that they will flatten out a little bit over time as your book stays closed. So you don't need to worry about that looking totally perfect either. So now we're almost done. I like to add other little things, mainly because I feel like it gives it so much character and personality. So what can we add? What can we add? Y'all know my go-to, these little vintage style stars. They're so cute. So let's add a couple little gold metallic stars because I just can't help myself. I just can't. I have to keep adding things. Should we add any more? Maybe like, oh, I think that's good. And that's it. We're done. And I think it's perfect. I can take that away and it just is such a great little piece. Have the cute little tag. It's all ready to go. So I hope you like that. I hope it helps. I hope it inspires you. And I hope you make your own. Have a good one. See you next time.